guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you guys how to make Keto Cheeseburger Pie. It is a big hit with our family and we make it on a regular basis, probably once every week, if not every 2 weeks. And it is very easy, very simple, and it is super quick to put together. So what this recipe calls for is 1 pound of ground beef, 1 cup of chopped onion, a half a teaspoon of salt, a third a cup of coconut flour, 3 tablespoons of almond flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk, 4 large eggs, and 1.5 cups of shredded cheese, your choice. I'm just using what I have. And it says 1 tomato, which is optional. I just put in a can of diced tomatoes. Is what I use. And you're going to preheat the oven to 400 and bake it for 25 minutes. And let me tell you guys, it is awesome. So let's get started. So you are going to, sorry, you're going to hear my kids in the background, but you are going to brown the meat and onion. And since I don't have a fresh onion, I am just going to be using minced onion. It's dried. It does the trick. We don't really like onions that much in our household anyways, but if you have a fresh onion, then definitely get that full cup. I am just going to sprinkle to our liking, and it does the same thing, but it is what it is. And while I am browning the ground beef, I am just going to mix together the almond flour, the coconut flour, and the baking powder. And then mix that all together, and I'm going to set that aside real quick. So I want to make sure I get all the clumps and it's evened out as best as I can. Now, you don't have to do this, but I always do it just to make sure that when it's all done, the slices come out relatively nice, and so I spray it down or I grease the pan very nicely with an even coat. And you can do it with coconut oil, you can do it however you want. I am just using what I have, and when I'm done browning my meat, I will go ahead and drain it, and then I'm going to just put that in the pan and wait until I'm mixing the rest of the ingredients. So in this bowl right here, I have mixed the 4 eggs, the 1.5 cups of cheese, and the 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk, and I mix it all together. And then I am going to combine it with our dry ingredients. And mix it up really nicely. And I know you could do it all at once in the liquid bowl, but I always do it last. I don't know why, but I just do. We're going to open up that can of diced tomatoes, and I drained just a slightly bit out of it. And then I just dump juice and all into this mix. But I just, like I said, I remove just a slight splash of it out just so it doesn't have too much juice. So after you mix your tomato into the complete mixture, it will look like this. And I will probably be downsizing to a half a can the next time I make it. To make sure, to see how we like it better with a half a can of tomatoes, because by dropping it down to a half a can of tomatoes, it'll also lower our net carbs for this meal as well. So we have our ground beef in our pan ready to go. If you've never cooked with the dried minced garlic, as you can see, it has enlarged. It's gotten bigger, basically, because of all the juices of it cooking. It's no longer dehydrated. It's now more flavorful, and it looks more like a fresh onion. Not so much big old chunks, but itty bitty dices. So now what you're going to do is you are going to combine that mixture that you have created and just drop it in there. And it looks like slop, but it is really good, I promise. And you're just going to smooth it out. If you want to, you don't have to just leave it on the top. You can mix in the ground beef into it, and so that way it is all the way around. And just like stir it in like that. You're more than welcome to do that. That's normally what I do because there is cheese in the recipe, obviously, and I don't want it really kind of like a topping. I want it more as all together. So I personally would recommend mixing it all together, making sure it's all ready. If you want, you can go ahead and add more cheese as a topping, but this is really good just the way it is. I'll probably add just a tiny bit more cheese. I think I've got some Colby Jack or sharp cheddar, I believe, left over, so I'll probably add that to the top and just smooth it out. And add some sharp cheddar. Not a lot because it already had a cup and a half, but just enough to give it more than just a mozzarella flavor. And then we are just going to pop it in the oven at 400 degrees for 25 minutes. And set the timer. And now we wait. Alright guys, so while I've got dinner in the oven, I am going to make the easiest and most delicious fat bombs. They are keto cheesecake fat bombs, and there's only 3 ingredients, guys. It's super easy, super delicious, especially if you love cheesecake. There is 4 ounces of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of butter or coconut oil, you get a pick, and 3 tablespoons of Swerve or whatever keto sweetener that you prefer or have on hand. And now if you don't want just the cream cheese, then you can add cocoa powder to the mix and make them like chocolate cream cheese fat bombs. That is delicious. Now if you want to spruce it up a little bit, you can make them like this and then mix cocoa powder with some coconut oil, or what I do is I usually do the opposite of what I actually put into the fat bomb itself. So today I'm using butter. So if I want to drizzle chocolate drizzle on top, I will get coconut oil and mix some cocoa powder into it and then drizzle it on top of them. Guys, these are so good, and I'll show you what they look like. Let's get to this. So literally all you do for this is you combine the 3 ingredients and mix it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put it in the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes so it can get a little bit hardened. And then that is it, literally, guys. You're going to put them together as far as with a cookie scoop, or if you want to just ball them up and roll them, you can do that as well. It is super easy and so fast, guys. So guys, once you guys mix all of that stuff together, don't mind my son in the background, but this is what it will look like. And I am just going to pop this in the freezer for 10 to 15 minutes to get it a little bit more firm. So that way when I put it on the cookie sheet, it is not just like a glob. It's more of like a tough cookie dough. So I have gone ahead and turned these into little bite-sized rounds with just a regular cookie scoop after I pulled it out of the freezer. So now I am going to show you guys how and what you need to make the chocolate drizzle. It is super easy and very quick, and it's so good. So you just need a little bit of coconut oil and a little bit of cocoa. You're going to melt this in your dish and you're going to mix it together, and then you're just going to drizzle it back onto your little bite-sized rounds. And this is what it'll look like. So that is about how much I put in this little dish. I'm going to microwave it real quick so it's fully melted. So I have melted it and added my cocoa, and honestly I just eyeball it. I don't know exactly the measurements as to what I have put in here, but it is a liquidy consistency. And now I am just going to drizzle it on top of my bite size, and I just do it with a spoon. You can do it however you want. I just do a little bit over, and then when you're all done, you're just going to put it in the freezer so it can harden up, and then after that you can either keep it in the freezer or you can put it in a container and have it in the refrigerator. That's what I do. I usually just stick it in the refrigerator once I've already had it set, and they are so good, guys. Like, I have a massive sweet tooth. I am one of those people that would much rather have sweets over salty foods. But literally, I could just have one of these and I'm good. I do not need anything else. And yeah, so I hope you guys like this, and please let me know what you think about it in the bottom and comment down below. I'm sorry. And I think I'm going to make some just regular and some with the chocolate. But yeah, I hope you guys like it. And guys, when it is all done, it fits nicely in a container, and I leave mine in the fridge like I said, but they are perfect little bite size, and one is more than enough for me, and after that it basically is just too much. And then as far as dinner was, that's what it turned out. It was all done and delicious. Sorry, I totally spaced and had a blonde moment. Ooh, squirrel. And didn't get a picture of it before we dug into it. But there it is. You guys know how to make it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful night. Bye.